Hello Internet, the American Gentleman here, back with another story you won't believe. You know, I've heard of Blue Lives Matter, but I don't think this is exactly what they meant. Have you ever been so fed up with being white that any other color will do? How about blue? And if you were to turn yourself blue, in what ways would that change your life? Would that make life easier or harder? Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the man that blew up overnight, and the newest member of the Blue Man Group, Halldor Karason.
Don't adjust your TV set. This man's skin really is blue. He used to look like this, a good-looking young man with a shock of red hair. But after using a home remedy, Halldor Karason looks like this.
Were you around my shade before?
Yeah, probably a little lighter.
So how did this happen? It all started when Paul was looking for a cure for flaky skin.
Dry skin? What a hell of a dandruff cure.
Doing his own research, he read about drinking a solution of silver in water. At first, things were fine, but then Paul started rubbing it onto his skin, and it started turning blue.
So what if a doctor came to you and said, I got a cure for your dandruff and you will never struggle with dry, flaky skin again? But there's one small side effect. It's gonna turn you blue. No big deal, right?
When did you first realize that you were blue?
A friend that hadn't seen me in a while came by and asked me what I'd done to myself.
So this guy was turning himself blue every day and wasn't even perceptive enough to notice. Did this guy even look in the mirror once during this time? Or was he too busy giving himself blue balls? Look, I know I'm ugly and I don't look in the mirror super often, but I would think I would notice if I was turning colors. This man must be a complete recluse. You mean to tell me no one checked up on this man for months and he didn't leave his house? I think that's a luxury a lot of us would love to have, but unfortunately we have to go to work every day. So you mean to tell me this man didn't go to work, he didn't go grocery shopping, and he didn't see a single person during this time? What have you been doing? Sitting at home on the internet researching one cool trick to hack your flaky dry skin? I know you didn't come up with that idea on your own, that's for damn sure.
We compared our arms. Paul's used to be fairer than mine. Now it's a dull gray blue. And despite the change in his skin color, Paul kept drinking the stuff because he says it cured ailments like sinus problems and even arthritis.
Oh, this man does not give up easily. He is literally like a junkie at this point. This stuff has turned his skin blue and he just cannot stop because it has worked to help his sinuses so well. This man must have been snotting like a rabid dog. It must have got real bad.
Paul showed me how he makes it.
I use distilled water, and then I take this apparatus here.
It looks like a high school science experiment. Paul attaches electrodes to a strand of silver wire. He sends a current into the water which extracts the silver. After about 15 minutes, the dissolved silver turns the water into a milky liquid.
Oh my goodness. So this guy is attaching jumper cables to a Pyrex glass and whipping to work until he gets his evil Frankenstein crack rock liquid to guzzle down.
Paul's fiancée Jackie drinks the stuff too.
And he's even got his fiancée hitting the pipe.
But Jackie's skin looks normal because she says she never applied the silver directly to her face like Paul did.
And why is her hand shaking so bad with fear in her eyes? This can't be healthy.
They met on the phone and she fell in love with him. Months later, she saw him for the first time, and she says even though she knew he was blue, it was still a shock.
Were you taken aback?
Very much so, yes. Yeah, I had to really look at it and remember who I had talked to and who I had fallen in love with.
So this man apparently doesn't seem like he's been working the whole year, but he's been online trying to jerry-rig the fountain of youth and escape the plebs in the matrix. Then, once he has transfigured into his final form, he's decided the only thing left for him is to go to Tinder and find a place to stay. We call that a hobosexual. Swipe right for blue balls. And he is your man if you want to see your first blue wiener, aka a iceberg glizzy. I call it the dolphin. And you don't want to get flipper wet after midnight. It's going to pop off and form all sorts of little blue gremlins. We've all seen the movie.
Paul says his blue skin has many advantages. He never sunburns and doesn't need to wear sunglasses.
What? This guy never sunburns? I'm going to order me a bottle today. I have changed my mind. I don't know if you can see this, but I am super pale. I don't tan, I just turn red and burn painfully. I've lived at the beach my whole life and I still can't be outside for more than 15 minutes in the summertime without being burnt to a crisp. I'm like that kid that couldn't even go to school because the bulbs in the classroom would give him sunburn. They had to change all the lights in one wing of the school just so he'd have an area he could walk around in without burning up and melting. No more sunburn? Count me in.
Here he is with his fiancée on a recent trip to New York City. But he also says there are some side effects he doesn't like.
Do you feel that you have been treated differently because you're blue?
Oftentimes. Some of the people were less than polite.
Oh no, here we go again. Nobody likes me because I'm blue.
But despite everything, Paul says he has no regrets about using his silver remedy.
If you could change back to the way you were, would you do it?
I'm not sure.
But no regrets, bro. It's totally worth it. If I could go back in time, I would give myself even bluery blue balls.
Really?
Really?
So that was over a year ago. Let's check in on Mr. Blue Man today and see if he still feels the same way. I wonder whatever happened to him. Let's find out.
He shocked the world 4 years ago. A man who turned his skin the color blue.
Amazing story. I've never heard of anything like that.
This is a first on the Oprah show. He really is blue.
This California man is blue, literally.
But whatever happened to Paul Karason, the guy who will forever be known as Blue Man? Sadly, he's fallen on hard times. Paul even lost his home and had no choice but to move into this homeless shelter.
Well, damn, that took a sharp turn for the worse.
I really had no other place to go.
A series of crises landed Paul on the streets. He battled prostate cancer and heart problems, broke up with his fiancée, and couldn't get a job.
Usually, if you don't go to work for years, you tend to start losing things, like your place to stay.
People are rather reluctant to hire blue people or people that are noticeably different.
Say it ain't so, Paul. You and your fiancée split and now you can't find work because you're blue. For a second, I thought he was going to say that he couldn't find work because he is a person of color. No, Paul, you're not a person of color, and that's not what they mean. But ultimately, I don't think people are discriminating on you because you're blue. I think that when you talk, people think that you're absolutely nuts. And if you can do something like this to yourself without even noticing and without having any remorse, then what else are you capable of, Paul? That's probably what's scaring people. If you had a different attitude about it and repented or turned around and stopped using and said, you know what, I think I really messed up. I made a mistake, then people, I think, would look at you a lot differently.
So he left Madera, California, and returned to his hometown of Bellingham, Washington, where he moved into the Lighthouse Mission Shelter. It houses 40 homeless people. But going back to his hometown turned out to be an inspired idea. Blue Man has a girlfriend.
Oh, no, Paul. You never cease to amaze me. He got a new Plenty of Fish account, and he's back at it in no time. Ladies, let this be a warning to you. POF is not for the faint-hearted.
Paul first knew Joanne Elkins 47 years ago in junior high. There's Paul in the yearbook, and there's Joanne in a beauty pageant around the same time. Paul got in touch with Joanne, and she helped him move out of the shelter. Now they live together.
He's quite the guy despite the fact that he's blue.
That's so wonderful, Paul. I'm glad things are finally looking up. You got the woman of your dreams, your high school sweetheart, you are off the streets, you got a good place to stay, you got all the love in the world. What is next for you, Paul?
Sad news about the man who achieved fame as the Blue Man. Paul Karason has died at age 62.
Oh, I didn't see that coming. Nope.
Karason died of a heart attack and a stroke in a Washington hospital on Monday.
So this man has spent the last 5 years being blue? Are you tempted to beat his record? Do you think you got what it takes to devote your life to bluism? You might die, but no more sunburn, no more sinus problems, and no more flaky skin. I think that's a fair trade. Also, I wonder if this lady had life insurance on him. That would be a little twist, wouldn't it? Anyways, guys, that's about all for today. If you enjoyed this video and would like to receive more content like this, please like and subscribe and hit the bell icon so you will never miss another upload again. I have shocking stories that I'm working on right now and you do not want to miss out. And lastly, I want to say rest in peace, Paul. We love you. You had your trials and tribulations, but now it's over now and we hope you're in a better place. And those of you that are listening right now, I hope you have a blessed day, and remember this above all else. Don't forget to be good on your way to becoming great. Thank you.